What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys behind the scenes of my Instagram posts for a little video that I like to call IG versus reality. Today I wanted to go through my Instagram feed and explain to you guys kind of the backstory of some of the photos that I posted and what went into them. Well, let's get started. So first photo is this one, which is this really pretty picture that I took with my photographer Colin. And I loved this photo. The lighting is beautiful, as you can see. I was like in this cute little bodysuit. Funny thing about this is the location of this shoot smelled so bad. It was in a very, I would just say, interesting neighborhood of Los Angeles and literally smelled like straight pee. It was disgusting. Beautiful photo came out of it, but I'm basically holding my breath throughout this location. All right, so this photo is from 2016, and I was on shoot at a high school here, and I was shooting a segment of 2K TV with an NBA athlete. And so they had a lot of like security there and whatnot, and when I got to the shoot, the security wouldn't let me in the gym. He was like, I was there with my best friend, and he was like, hey girls, like I know everybody wants to be in the WNBA someday, but the gym's closed today for a shoot. And I was like, so obviously I guess thought I was like a high schooler or something. And he was like, not. I was like, well, it's actually like, I'm the one who's hosting this shoot. Actually, like, I'm talent. And he literally had to like get on his walkie-talkie and like ask people, and then they were finally like, oh yeah, no, she's actually the one shooting. And so then they finally let me in, but thought it was kind of funny that I essentially got blocked from going into my own shoot. All right, so this one is from 2017 when I was working with NBA TV and I was doing a live broadcast with NBA TV. It was my first time doing a live broadcast with them, and I was broadcasting from Oracle Arena, and essentially the guys who were in the NBA TV studio, which included like Shaq and Kenny and a couple others, I forget who else was at the desk, they were going to be checking in with me live from their desk, and I was doing like an update of what was going on at Oracle. Here's the problem, guys. You have this little earpiece when you go live, which helps you to hear your producer, and then for me, it helped me to hear what they were saying from the desk so that I could answer the questions that they were asking me and have like a conversation with them. So tell me why my earpiece wasn't working. I kept telling the producers this, I'm like, I can barely hear. So they kept like fiddling with it. So this is like, you know, you go to the set early, they couldn't get it to work. Long story short, I ended up having to have two earpieces in both ears taped to my ears to try to get it like loud enough so that I could actually hear what was going on and I could hear the people at the desk. Guys, I didn't do so well on this shoot because when they did ask me the question, I still could barely hear them, and I was just hoping that I answered the question correctly because I didn't want to look like a complete idiot on live TV. But I'll be totally honest with you when I say I didn't do very well, but I couldn't hear and we couldn't get the audio problems fixed, so never worked for NBA TV live again. So this photo was when we were filming YouTube videos in New York City, and I swear to you guys, I know this is like beautiful lighting and I look so, you know, nice. Well, it was really cold. It was like, I don't know, 10 degrees or something. I was freaking freezing, and it was nighttime and we had already been shooting all day. So essentially what was happening during this video shoot is we would shoot about like 30 seconds to 2 minutes outside, and then I would run in a store and like warm up. So I kept like running into Old Navy and running into like all of these different stores just to try to get warm, just to get a few more B-roll shots for my YouTube video for you guys. So yeah, I wasn't pleased though. I was really cold and I don't do well in the cold weather. This was when I covered the NBA draft, and essentially this job, I was going live for about 6 hours inside of the arena where the draft was being held. So I was in New York, I had to be there all day This is honestly, guys, probably one of the worst days of my life on a like personal level. I didn't sleep the night before. I maybe slept like 2 or 3 hours. I was like crying all day the night before and basically all night. And then I had to wake up early, and then I had to like put on a happy face and, you know, go to work. But I was just, I was a mess that day, and I couldn't really tell anybody because I didn't want to, you know, I don't know, be a problem at work. So I was trying to like be happy, but there were definitely moments where I just like had to go take a bathroom break and like kind of like cry and get myself together. And it was a really long day, and also a really long day like being around. There was tons of fans and everything there too. And so, you know, I don't know, you just want to do your best when you're at your job. But guys, there are some days where I'm like having a bad day, or I'm sad, or I'm sick or whatever. But in the industry that I'm in, you just kind of can't be. So you have to fake it and put it away. So I guess I don't look happy in this picture, but I don't think anybody knows until today that it was a bad day, really bad day. You guys know that I do a lot of different brand deals, and normally I have a lot of fun working with different brands, and I get to have a big part in the creative and what kind of like videos or photos that we come up with. And this one was definitely my concept. I don't know if you saw this. It was a partnership that I did with Axe, and I essentially had to say this script and then shoot the ball backwards behind my head, because that was the trick shot that I wanted to do, and then kind of continue on with the script. Well, guys, that shoot was really rough. And this one that ended up being posted to my page was the second time that we did the shoot, because we actually had to redo the entire thing. So we had already shot it once and then gave it back to the brand, and they needed to add a couple more things that we weren't aware of. So then we reshot it within this particular day. I don't know, guys, it's just kind of hard when you have to say your lines perfectly, like kind of what you came up with, and then shoot and then say your lines again. And so for me, the struggle was like, sometimes I would say my lines perfectly and miss my shot. Sometimes I would make my shot and then not say my lines perfectly. So I was getting really frustrated that day, even though I'm super pleased with how it came out and it ended up being a really fun campaign. It was frustrating, and it took me longer than I wanted it to take. So this was a super fun project that I got to work on, and this was a commercial with The Gap. And essentially what they did was they got me and then 2 other basketball players. We had 2 tap dancers and then a DJ, and we essentially made a beat together and made this kind of commercial out of it. The cool thing about it was director X, who directed some of like Drake's music videos, he was directing this commercial. What you guys didn't see was that, one, I was in the hottest outfit of anybody, meaning like the most clothing. I was in so many layers, like a hoodie and a jacket, and the jeans were thick, and socks and shoes, and my hair was down. And we also had to do this take so many times. So I was legit like sweating, and I was sore by the end of it. And we literally shot this for probably like 6 hours, and we had this whole dribble routine. We actually had to do rehearsals before we filmed it to make sure that we were doing all the moves correctly. We had to like be blocked in a certain area. There was a part in the commercial where I was gonna do a slip and slide, but my jeans were actually getting like blue stains on the white floor, and so we nixed that out of the commercial because like the whole set was supposed to be white. The commercial turned out really cool, but it definitely was not a walk in the park to make that. And yeah, and I'm glad that you can't see how bad I was sweating in my outfit. This photo is really fun. So this is when I went to Milwaukee to film with Casey Neistat for his Christmas video. He normally does like a really cool holiday video and kind of goes all out with it. So we went to Milwaukee and we transformed this abandoned mall into a winter wonderland. And honestly, it was really amazing, and I had so much fun. The one thing that you won't notice in this is that it was so cold. And we were hanging out with the kids and it was really fun, but when we were actually in the mall for like the Winter Wonderland setup, by the end of the day, people were asking me if I was okay because I guess my lips were like completely purple. Like, I don't know, I guess I just don't do well in the cold. And I had all of these like hand warmer heat packs, literally like probably 20 of them just shoved in different places, like in my clothes and in my boots and in my just literally everywhere that you can think of on my body. They were there like trying to warm me up, and it was so much fun, so I can't even like complain that it was really cold, but it was so freaking cold. Also my first time to Milwaukee and I haven't been there since. This was another day when I went to Nickelodeon. I was super stoked that Nickelodeon invited me to their little SpongeBob event, but what you might not know is that I was also having a really bad day on this day, and I had been like crying, and it was like a really, I don't know, it was a bad day, and my mom even said that she could tell in the driver's license picture that my face was really puffy, and I actually like hadn't even like left the house for a couple days that week, but yeah, I got out of the house, I went to the Nickelodeon event, it helped me be happy for like an hour, and then I went home and went back to being miserable, but it's okay, feeling better now. This is a photo when me and my friend Paula went to Zion National Park and we went hiking there. And this is when we made it to the very top of the mountain. And I know a lot of people were commenting about this, saying like, oh my gosh, you guys are literally on the edge, like, you know, how can you be so stupid, whatever, I don't know, making whatever jokes you guys like to make. There's actually, we're not actually on the edge. There's a little part that sticks out here. So, I mean, if we fell off, we'd probably fall onto the second ledge and then keep falling down and like be in trouble. But it's not a complete drop off from where we're at. It just kind of looks like that. But that hike was actually 6 hours total. We hiked from the bottom to the top. When we got to the top, we like ate lunch and we fed the squirrels up there, and it was a really, really, really cool view. And yeah, it was an amazing trip, but it was scary at some points because it was like raining and windy, and there was like really tiny trails, and I kind of get dizzy sometimes when I get up really high. I'm not scared of heights at all, but it's something that like happens in my brain or like in my body where I start getting a little bit of vertigo. But yeah, it was a really fun trip and my first time at Zion. Here's a super throwback from 2013. And if you guys didn't know, I did a little bit of modeling when I was younger, and this job in particular, we were modeling, it was kind of like a Project Runway type of show. So we had designers who would dress up their models, and so I was one of the models that would get dressed depending on, you know, which designer I was working with and whatnot. This day I was really sick, and then they decided to put me in this ungodly tight ponytail, which is literally just pulling strands out of my hair. I feel like I look like I Dream of Jeannie or something. And so just add that on top of your head pounding because you don't feel well, and yeah, makes for great TV. So I know you guys remember my twin workout video. Well, truth behind this is I was, once again, really sick while shooting this, and my bright idea decided to do one of the most difficult things to film for my YouTube channel and add a workout to it. So I was definitely struggling throughout this shoot, and we also had rented a studio space to shoot this in, and I think we honestly had, I don't even know how many hours, but it got down to we had like 2 scenes left and construction started. So somewhere in the building, someone was doing some really heavy, like hammering, like really any kind of construction sound you could possibly think of that's super loud was happening very nearby. So basically that screwed up our entire audio. And when you're doing a video like this, continuity is very important, and the scenes have to look and sound the same in order for it to work. And yeah, so we would hear them like pounding with their hammers, and then immediately when they stopped hammering, be like, okay, go, 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 go. And then I would like try to power through my lines as quick as I could before the hammering started again. And it definitely came down to the final seconds of our studio space that we booked in order to finish this video. But we did it, and it seems like you guys liked it, so. All right, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video and it gave you a little bit of a better glimpse into my actual life. I know that my Instagram may look like everything is perfect all the time, and as I'm very grateful for the lovely life that I have, things are not always perfect. I have bad days too, I have sick days too, and I have very interesting and weird days also that might not be shown as much on my Instagram page. But I want to know which story I told today was your favorite, so let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe because I upload new videos every single week. And I'll see you guys next time.